What's the haps? I'm Moroka, and today I'm going to be taking a quick look at Red Goddess in a World by Yanim Studio. Now, long-term followers will remember that quite a while back I took a look at a game by the name of Red Goddess. It was an early look, it was a preview build, kind of it was a little bit of a demo, tech demo kind of thing that they released whilst they were doing a Kickstarter. And it is the same game, but that Kickstarter failed, and then they relaunched it under the brand In a World, and that is the game we're going to take a look at today. It's kind of at its core, it's got some of the same elements, but a lot of it is very, very different. So we're going to find out what that's all about. Let's have a look at the options menu first. Under video, we have resolution, full screen, and VSync. We have color aberration? I don't know what that is. I've turned it on and off and I can't figure out what it did. And I've never seen it in any other video game. And it doesn't tell you what it does. So, beats me. I don't know, that's in there. Under graphics quality, you've got a bunch of presets. It just sets everything to whatever that is. Textures and shadows, you got low, medium, high, ultra, standard kind of stuff. Post-processing and anti-aliasing also the same. Those are kind of the ones that will be nice. Might be kind of nice to know actually what's going on there. I mean, what post-processing are you doing there? What kind of anti-aliasing is going on there? Don't know. Doesn't tell you. Sound, music and effects are on separate sliders. There is also a master volume. I do find that by default the narrator is a little bit quiet compared to the music. He's kind of drowned out a bit by the music, which I've turned the music down. And I think the narrator is just kind of tied into the effects. It would be nice to have the voiceover on a separate slider, I do think. So you got your music, you got your sound effects, and then you got the narrator separate as well. That would kind of be the ideal way to do that, I think. Key bindings, you can rebind keyboard, you cannot rebind a gamepad. It's a platformer, I tend to lean towards gamepads for platformers, so I'm on a gamepad for this. And on extras, I did find this, which is kind of fun. There's a bit of a throwback. Cheat codes. Cheat codes. I don't know any, I don't know where I would get any, and I've looked on the Steam forums and I can't see anybody that's got any either. God knows what this does, but it's a neat little retro kind of novelty. I don't know, maybe once we're all done here, I will go and buy the strategy guide and that will have all the cheat codes in or something. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. That's a bit of a throwback, but kind of cool. So let's hop on into things. Let us head on into the game. This is, if you remember the original Red Goddess, you are the divine daughter of a god and goddess. You are divine, surprisingly enough. This is divine, and you have the ability, as you did in the old version, to transform into a form of fear and a form of rage. And they have different. All of the three forms have different abilities, and they will allow you to tackle things in different ways, which is in many ways a little bit Trine. It's all very different to how the original one. This is kind of a platformy Metroidvania kind of thing, whereas the previous one had a lot of puzzle elements to it. I mean, previously, when you're in Rage, you were aggressive in combat. You still are. You can still punch things. You've got an uppercut. You kind of got this charge attack thing. And yeah, Rage is Rage. Rage rages on things. Problem is, previously, where Fear had like a lot of was a very stealth-orientated character, you kind of had to stealth your way through a bunch of stuff. You could sneak around enemies, and you could pass through areas that Rage couldn't. Now they're the same character, kind of, pretty much. You got a bunch of melees, you got the uppercuts, and I am quite certain that once I've defeated the spidery area that I'm about to enter, I will have one of those, you know, big blue punchy attacks that Rage form has. As I say, it's Metroidvania. Look, we've got a whole bunch of upgrades there. You can see them: telekinesis, rage, fear, wall grab, double jump, special rage. I'm pretty sure the next one's going to be special fear. So yeah, you're going to pick up things, and they're going to allow you to explore new areas. We've got this map. We've got quite an expansive non-linear map that will go all over the place, which again looks very Metroidvania. You can see where all the collectibles are. The red things are kind of tokens that you need to gather as many of as you can, and the little gates are going to, well, they're going to gate you off. They're going to block your progress until you've got the right thing to get there. You know, until you got the right amount of red things. A lot of the red things are hidden behind the things that you'll need to get there. So I'll need to collect the crystals. They're going to require old powers that I might have. I don't know what else there is on the map. It'd be nice to pan a little faster, I'm going to be honest. It pans quite slowly. So yeah, if I were to backtrack right back there, I'm pretty sure... I have a feeling double jump is what I would need to go back and gather those crystals from back there. I gather that a little later on after that section, so I imagine if I went back to near the start of the game, the double jump would allow me into new areas. So yeah, that's all very Metroidvania, which was not what that original tech demo that I played was ever about, but yeah, there you go. It's all changed, I suppose. So that's what we got here, and yeah, let's actually get playing. Let's do things. So all the special abilities like this wall jump and double jump are only available to Divine, the character Divine, not Fear or Rage. If I were to change into my Fear form, I can't grab onto that. So you kind of got your combat forms and then kind of a platforming kind of form. You can kind of shoot a fireball with this, which will then possess an enemy if you hit them with it, which is a reasonable way to deal with a number of enemies in combat. But that costs mana, so you've only got a limited number of shots of those. And honestly, I think the game intends that you will punch everything. So, let's punch some things. I guess this area I need to be breaking a bunch of spider eggs, such that I can enrage some spiders, I think, is mostly what's going on here. There we go, here's some spiders. So we can show you off a bit of combat. So the combat is all kind of color-coded. You got all the enemies in the game kind of come in two flavors. You got the red form and the blue form. And if you match the right color to the enemy, if you attack red enemies in red form and blue enemies in blue form, you'll dispatch them reasonably quickly. If I were to, say, go take on this blue spider in my red form, well, you can kill it. It's gonna take a very long time. You got a combo in the top corner. If I keep going, this is going to take me over 100 hits to get through that. It's just ridiculous. You do kill them. I've tried. I just kept at it till one of them dropped. But yeah, it takes like 100, 150 hits, something very silly, to get those. And yeah, you'd be better. You're intended. And damn it, that's a deadly pit. Okay. Yeah. You're intended to hit them with the right color, and you probably should be hitting them with the right color, unless you're going for like the achievement that requires a combo, in which case attacking them with the wrong color actually makes that achievement quite easy. So yeah, platforming, we've got deadly things, lots of deadly things, and the game, I'm not sure it necessarily well communicates what is deadly to you and what's not, because there are some things that look deadly that aren't, and then other things that look very, very similar that are. I speak specifically of spikes, to be quite honest. There are spikes in the game, and some of them are insta-kill spikes, some of them just deal damage to you. I think they're color-coded, but I'm not certain. I've not researched enough to figure it out, and the game was never particularly forthcoming on that front. It's not very helpful in teaching you those mechanics, really. I think the red spikes kill you instantly, and the blue spikes just deal damage, but I'm not certain. Either way, this green goop clearly kills me instantaneously. Now, there is a collectible down there that I kind of would like to get, but I keep dying when I try to do it, so I don't know if I... Is this worth me doing? Yes, we have unlocked a new skin of some sort. There we go. I have my double jump. I could probably have got that a lot easier with a double jump than trying to precision jump. But that's my goofing. We got a bunch of blue spiders, so let's fight them in a blue form, otherwise... Yeah, it's going to take a while. The combat is not terribly complex. We've got like I say, you got your kind of your standard melee combo attack. You got your uppercuts, which flips an enemy into the air, kind of knocks them off balance. So that can interrupt some stuff. But I'm not sure if it's more powerful. It may be more powerful than your standard hits. Seems like it would be. But on the whole, that's kind of pretty much what you've got. You got a bit of a roll dash as well. I can use the triggers to sort of roll out the way, which I think gives you a brief moment of invulnerability, maybe. Which you can use in combat scenarios. If there's like a whole bunch of enemies, you might find yourself using that a bit more. But against a lot of enemies, you get your health back often enough that the vast majority of enemies in the game... Oh, I just spotted the deadly pit at the last moment. And that's a save point, so I'm going to grab that. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, the vast majority of the enemies in the game, you might as well just punch them. And I gotta remember... the trickiest bit of this is remembering which abilities you have in which form, to be honest. It's switching between forms. I keep expecting to be able to double jump whilst I'm in, like, rage form, and then not being able to do so, and dying accordingly. And... yeah, that's what really makes it tricky, is just knowing which one to use when, and changing between them. I'd say it's got an element of Trine. I would say I stick by that. I think it's kind of it's Trine with Metroidvania. It's maybe less complex than Trine. As I say, two of the characters are damn near the same, if we're honest, and then one of them has all the interesting platforming abilities. With certain special platforms, you can like use telekinesis as well for some kind of. You can use them mostly for sort of moving platform puzzle type things. Anything that Divine's going to be doing is going to be mostly a puzzle orientated thing, really. And then the others are going to be mostly combat. It would have been. I do think it would have been. It's kind of. I feel like it's a missed opportunity to not have the characters do different things. Because certainly in the original build they did. The first version of the game I ever played, Rage and Fear both did separate things. And now they don't, which is just really weird. They're, for the most part, aside from the colour coordination thing, they're pretty much the same character. This is almost like it's they've taken away some of the mechanics, making it, on the whole, slightly less interesting. It's a shame, because otherwise, it's reasonably solid. I mean, I don't think it necessarily breaks the mold in any particularly interesting way. It's mostly just a Metroidvania. Aside from the character switching thing, it's still, oh hey, here's a doodad that lets you double jump. Here's a doodad that lets you wall jump. Here's a doodad that lets you move platforms. Here's a, you know, standard Metroidvania stuff. So, yeah, here's a wall that I can't get through until I've got the requisite ability that lets me backtrack to this place and go do it. The game describes itself as being non-linear, and well, when you look at the map, it kind of is. It's a non-linear map, but I kind of take a little bit of objection to describing the game as non-linear, because it does direct you. When you look on the map, there's the big red glowing mark that says, hey, this is where you're going, and the blue mark, which I keep getting these confused as well, because the blue mark kind of blends into the background and isn't super obvious, and the red mark is obvious. The red mark is where you're going. It always tells you exactly where on the map you need to be, and you should just go there and do the things. Whereas the blue mark is where you are. And as I say, one blends into the background and one of them is obvious. I always kind of feel like the red is where I am, and I keep getting that one mixed up. But because it's always there to guide you through the game, it's like, just go to the red thing. It's, honestly, it's not as non-linear as they might otherwise claim it to be. I guess this is roughly where I need to be. Have I got enough of those spider egg things? Yeah, kill the spider queen. Well, I guess this is boss time. If this is anything like the previous boss, I'm going to be here a while, I think, so this could be probably about as far as my review goes, if I'm honest. So let's head on. How do I head in? Where am I? Where am I? And how do I get there? So I want that save point. There's a save point there, and there's a heal up point there. That restores all health and mana, so that seems worth grabbing. They do kind of keep the two separate. It seems like they should be together, but they don't. The health and the health systems and the saving systems are separate. So this is actually very similar to all the previous bosses I've actually played as well. I'm starting to get the impression that most of their bosses are not drastically different. They all take this kind of this golem form, and I'm going to get killed here super quick, I think. There's definitely quite a learning curve to each of the bosses. The levels themselves aren't crazy hard, and then the bosses are just going to destroy me, I'm quite certain of it. Kill the ads, and then you've got this golem who's got a different... They've all got slightly different attacks, but you kind of got this golem who, once you learn his attacks, you then spend a while avoiding the attacks and destroy the crystal on the front and destroy the crystal on the back. And once the crystals are destroyed, the golem is dead. The first boss you fight, how's that format? The second boss you fight, how's that format? This boss, how's that format? So I'm kind of getting the impression that most of them are going to be very, very similar. Sky is blue, so I'm going to work on the assumption that I should probably be using blue formats here. I think this is maybe less challenging than the previous boss, because the previous boss, just, the ads were way tougher. They did a lot more damage. Whereas here, you seem to have a little bit more leniency over the spiders, I guess. They don't destroy you quite as fast. And that got me. Oh well. Let's try it again. Let's try it a few times, because it's probably going to take me a few times. So yeah, graphically, it looks very nice. I mean, they've changed the style since the original, definitely. It's a new style going on, but I don't dislike it. I kind of dig this new style. It works well. Music, I'm enjoying the music as well. But the animation, I'm not sure is the best. Certainly for when it comes to narrative sections, a lot of the narrative of the game is, well, it's told through speech bubbles. You run into characters and you talk to them, and they have speech bubbles above their heads, and they stand there still and motionless and emotionless. And that's all you get from most of the characters in the game. They have all the acting ability of a brick, frankly. You obviously have the narrator, but he doesn't pop up anywhere near as often as interactions with other characters. Okay, that golem suddenly jumped. I don't recall him being able to jump before, but there you go. Now he can jump. So yeah, I believe this team originally had its origins in doing 3D character animation and stuff, and certainly where things, certainly as far as character design go and the animations that are in the game, it works. But then just that odd choice to kind of not really have much going on when you're actually having exposition. It's kind of weird. I don't know whether that's just like budget limitations or what. It's like, yeah, we would have had people be interesting to talk to, but we ran out of money or what? Which is one of those Kickstarter things. Is like you always ask for less money than you really need to finish a product, and that sometimes gets in the way. We've seen that a few times with a few games. I don't know if that's the case here, but if I had to speculate, it could be. So narratively, it kind of falls a little flat. The gameplay itself is solid. If you were to look at it from a Metroidvania perspective, I don't think it breaks too much ground. I don't think it is too much innovative. The character system is obviously something a little different, but broadly speaking, it's much of the same stuff you've seen in many other Metroidvanias. Like I say, look, you got your wall jumps, you got your double jumps, you got all the your standard Metroidvania fare. It looks pretty and it does Metroidvania well, I'll say that much for it. But if you're coming into it looking for a high quality visual animation experience, that's not what you're going to find here, I don't think. You're not going to find the story of the year. But you'll find a solid Metroidvania title. I can quite happily recommend it as a Metroidvania title. If that's what you're looking for in a game, I think I think you could find a good title here. I want rid of these red things. Can we please get rid of the red things? Oh my god. I feel like I almost have got the hang of this boss. I don't know if I'm going to kill it. I'm probably not going to kill it, but I feel like I've almost got the hang of it. Anyway, this is out now. It's out on Steam. It's available for £6.99, your regional equivalent. And it's definitely not what it used to be. It's definitely something new. I don't think it's necessarily a bad game. It's just not what I was expecting. And it's not what I'd been led to believe it would eventually become. Which is weird, because I distinctly remember when I looked at that first one, I was like, this has got such a potential to be something really interesting and innovative and new, and it's like, hey, it's not bad. There's nothing bad about this game. It's certainly a very solid game, but I don't know. It's not like I haven't played this kind of thing before. Ah, come on, that was so close. There you go. Red Goddess in a World, everyone. Look, at £6.99, I think it's worth it. I think I can recommend it at that price point. I think it's a cute little title. So thank you very much for watching. I've been Meroka, and I don't think I'm going to beat this spider boss. I'll see you next time.